Now about this rear end of transmission. I've taken off the bolt and I've dumped all the oil that I can out of it. I've taken off the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts and used a little screwdriver to pry this open with. Now, one thing I want to say about this is that if you've never worked on a transmission with one of these, there is probably I think at least 4 or 5 gear sets that change the ratio to the power to the back tire. And all you gotta do is lift this up and turn it over without getting oil all over myself, and take a look and see what we got in there. This is your primary gear. Now, let me put this way. Everything in this rear section you can do by yourself except for the primary gear. Change it. Alright? Now, when you buy racing gears, say you go to VT and you ask them for racing gears, they got a whole bunch of, that's where I got all mine. Anyway, he'll ask what ratio, and you'll say, don't lose these damn washers either. Okay? Don't lose those at all. You see this part comes out. That's not part of the gears. This is your, I'm sorry, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. It's hard to do this one hand to keep this camera focused. This is your primary gear right here. Primary gear, this gear itself is sold separately. It's sold in different sizes. And I don't know how many. I know I've had it once. Now, when I went to change my racing gears in this bike, the gear set, don't lose those washers, there's like 3 of them. The gear set comes with your main spindle right here. Okay, I call it a spindle. It's a crankshaft, drive, whatever you want, whatever you want to call it. But the stock one has more teeth on it. Okay, so this comes in the gear set, and this comes in the gear set. Let's see if anything else does. I think it's only those 2 pieces. This is for the secondary gear, and this is your primary. A good thing to do is to go in here when you get this apart. This is the stock, what it's called, gasket. Okay, well, a lot of people don't use them. I used them because I was building an engine and I had a spare one, but generally I don't use them. You can use Moto Seal or some kind of gasket thing on here. Don't lose those damn washers, okay? If you're not sure how these engines go back together, find yourself a microfiche on this. Go to bikebandit.com, look up SR51, SR50, the year 2000 or 1994 through 2000. They will show you the schematics, everything, and they won't show you how to build it, but they do show you how the parts are stacked, which is good. I'm going to clean up a little bit more over here, clean this up, and then put everything back in the dishwasher and get it even cleaner. But that's how you take your transmission apart. Now when I go back to build it, then I'll discuss gear ratios, how it's done, how these tools work the same in a transmission. I believe it's, no, let me see. This one works on the transmission. These are Honda stock tools, are absolutely worthless for anything other than putting in a crank or pulling a drive shaft through the bearing right here. And they're about the 3 pieces I would say today, $100, $100, and $100 for the other one. They're really well built tools, but they're only good for doing that one thing. And I was glad I got them. That was a lot of years ago. So I'm going to clean this block up more, and as long as I'm going to rebuild it, I'm going to rebuild it right. I'm not going to make a mistake where a lot of people say, oh, don't worry about the transmission, it'll take care of itself. Don't worry about the brakes, that'll take care of itself. I just want to build my biceps and chest, the rest of it will take care of itself. No, it don't. The engine, body, whatever you build is only as strong as your weakest point. So, if you're going to do the job right, do it right. I've lost an engine due to a 25-cent circlip that I made a mistake on. It was a little teeny mistake, completely blew the engine, 125cc engine, and I learned a lesson from it. Alright, my hands are greasy, so I have to stop. I do everything with one little tiny video camera. So from my good friends in the Philippines, I hope you like this video. From the DIOSpeedDEMON, rock on. Jesus.